Hi, welcome to this teacup-sized conversation with me. Grab your tea or coffee and we are going to discuss a very interesting subject that interests all of us, happiness. You know, that subject that we read thousands of books about and we write gratitude journal even we don't feel it. And the books that are almost all the same and can be written by ChatGPT in a blink of moment. But happiness is not a new subject. It's a subject that had been discussed since thousands of years. Starting from Mesopotamia, they had their own view of happiness. Then we enter in an era of Greek Western philosophy, where Aristotle explained it very beautifully. Eudaimonia, which with a standard of today, it became a kind of word so mistranslated that sounds like a brand of a luxury face cream. But eudaimonia, the way that Aristotle explained it, has nothing to do with happiness that we are discussing today. It's about experiencing entire emotions and feeling that we have. The beauty of being human being. Joys with a measure of human. And it's not about state of being always happy and joyful, but it's about experiencing entire emotions, disappointment, sadness, happiness, joy, or even occasionally being in euphoric feeling, like having your ice cream in bed and crying. Those moments that you can feel it. But today, unfortunately, happiness is translated like a destination, as if it's a GPS destination, that we have to purchase it somewhere, and as far as we are following it and understanding how to use it, we are going to reach to that destination. Our feelings are divided in two types: sadness, the way that we are, and happiness, the way that is somewhere else and we're supposed to reach there. But now I wanted to introduce you to an extraordinary woman, Maira Kalman, a woman who never wrote about happiness, and perhaps that's why she understood it so well. She sees happiness and joy in every ridiculous things, in people's expression waiting in a bus station, in a ridiculous pigeon, in a toast, a dog, in ordinary life. She says something very interesting. She says, we created day and time, and only now we have to decide which tutu to wear, which insult to respond, or which book to write. She finds joy in absurdity, in every little things that surrounded her. I'm going to leave you a link of one of her books that I usually look at it and read it whenever I feel sad. And I'm sure that it will make you happy as well, because she doesn't try to sell it to you. She just tries to explain it to you. But now I'm going to talk to you about another woman. A woman who was the greatest expert of happiness, my mother. She married age 19 with a man, my father, with whom she had only one thing in common: letter M. After marriage, she was called always Mumu, like a cat of Pablo Picasso. And she was like that cat, a little bit suspicious about everything, fiercely independent, and funny and joyful. She lived a very difficult life, truly difficult. But if you were going to write a book about her life, she was the last one who was going to read it. People they were saying that she never grew up. And she was always responding, what's the problem with washing dishes and playing with bubbles and be happy? And that was she was doing every day. Going to the kitchen, washing the dishes, and singing and playing for hours with bubbles. But I want to tell you one story about her, which I never forget. She loved knitting. She had one of those knitting bag. And whenever she was rushing to that bag, you could understand that she's a little bit unhappy. And she was sitting and knitting and laughing hours and hours. And one day she decided to knit a hat for my father. She never knitted anything for him, except that single hat. It was very kind of her, of course, except she used the code, the Morse code language, because knitting is, for those that they know how to knit, is a knit and purl. And she used knit and purl as a Morse code language to write lots of insult to my father. My father was wearing that hat, and each time that he was wearing the hat, and he was very grateful, my mother was laughing like a child, like a baby watching a clown climbing over banana peel. One day I asked her, I said, well, you did it, but why are you laughing always about it? What's to laugh about? And then she told me, you see, it's simple to laugh at the insult that you created it. And you are the only one who could design it. And I told her, I don't understand this metaphor, and I don't know why you're laughing still. And she told me, that's why you're not at all happy. There is a quote that I love, I think, by Robert Holden, that says, until we don't give up the idea that happiness is somewhere else, it will never be where we are. So we treat happiness as a GPS destination. But what if happiness is not somewhere else? It's not somewhere to reach. So this week, maybe, stop reading a book on happiness. Just try to notice something small, something human. And a small act, a strange object, or an absurdity of someone who annoys you wearing an insult that you knitted on their wardrobe. That's happiness. Not the big cinematic kind, but a kind that keeps you human. So tell me in a comment below, what's the last tiny things that made you unexpectedly happy? And if you'd like me to tell you more story about people that they never wrote about happiness, but they are extraordinarily expert of happiness, write me a comment below, and I will tell you next time a story of another interesting person who turned absurdity of life to a joy. So until next time, goodbye.